The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Here we go. This is Bill DeMott. This is Face Value. We're back this week, this Tuesday. I'm back with for everybody who doesn't see my face right now, I'm looking off to my left. My moral compass is with me. Say hello.
Hello. Hi-oh.
That's it. Everybody looking. There's the point. And we're going to get to a lot. We're going to get, this is a family edition of Face Value because I talked about it last week on my podcast and on social media. I went home to New Jersey, and then we got to see a lot of family and friends. My niece got married, but before we get to that, I want to reach out to everybody on Amazon and thank them and remind everybody that the fall season and cooler weather means getting outdoors more. And our Amazon page can be your getting outdoors headquarters with great deals on backpacks and cycling gear. Save up to 25% on Pearl Izumi bike clothing, Osprey and Camelback backpacks, and car mounts, bike racks from Yakima and Rocky Mounts. Click the Amazon banner on my webpage, BillDeMottExperience.com, to support this free show and to make all your fall outdoor experience even better. Thank you again for always shopping Amazon through the Bill DeMott Experience. This is what's happening while I'm looking at you. That's it. Amazon. I'm in cahoots with Amazon, and I want everybody to go to Amazon on my page here on the Realm Network, and go get your outdoor stuff. I mean, who doesn't order? You of all people, you're all over Amazon. So from now on, forget your phone. You click on my page and you go, okay, that's the end of that. Amazon and Bill DeMott. That's what I always say. Amazon, call me.
Oh, yeah.
But it's backwards now, right? I want everybody here to call.
Amazon.
To call him. Okay, so
Well, I'm sure they do because Amazon has everything.
Yeah, but now it's Amazon and the Bill DeMott Experience are one and the same.
Okay.
Not for nothing. I call Amazon for a lot of things. I don't know if I'd fit in any Pearl Izumi bike clothing. I'm just going to bring that up. So while you go and order things, understand that I'm of the larger persuasion, and my bike clothes equal a tank top, a pair of shorts, and sneakers. But I do have one of the Camelback backpacks. That's the one with the water, right?
I think so.
You can drink. Well, you're supposed to put water in it. I don't know what other people put in it. Here's my water right here. But you go to Amazon, right? Click on the Amazon banner on my webpage, BillDeMottExperience.com. Shop Amazon. Tell them Bill sent you.
Am I supposed to be doing all this?
No, I mean, you can go do it. Don't do it now. We're in the middle of a show. Don't start. We just spent 5 days together.
We did not spend
Well, how many? Well, we spent 22 years together.
Because they live here. Spent every day together.
Let's do this. We're gonna catch everybody up to a great week. I want to touch on the news and for everybody watch iTunes, pay attention. You won't see this, but I'm going to turn my hat around. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to turn my hat around because I said I got to go home for 4 full days, and my mother said you should turn your hat around so everyone can see your face. I said, do you watch my show? And she says, yes. And why don't you let people see your face? Well, I've said like 100 times, I have a face for radio. And the fact that I have a video podcast, it adds to the humor. So all the shows we do, and I haven't seen my mom in a couple months, but she's in Georgia and I'm in Florida, and thank goodness for FaceTime and all those things. And the first thing she said, so I love your show. Can you turn your hat around so people can see your face? And I wanted to say to her, like, I'm a grown man. I'm honest. Do you see my face? Nothing enhances to having the hat on backwards. So this is Alice. This is for you. If you can figure out how to watch my show this week.
Hi, Nana.
Yeah, hi, Nana. Otherwise, it's on iTunes. So she, while she's driving or sitting at home trying to figure out her iPhone and her iPad, she's listening to the show on iTunes, and she says, "Turn your hat around." Lady, you don't even watch the show. You're listening to it. What difference does it make where my hat is? So here's my hat. Everybody freeze. Before you order from Amazon, let's take a second. Snapshot. Take a screen picture of this. My hat's around, and then I will lie to her and say I did the whole show like that, but that's ridiculous. I'm going to turn it back around. So that was for my mom because she said, "Look, oh, I see the difference."
You do?
No, do you? You still see my face.
Not from here, because I'm not looking at the...
Like a 330-pound Cabbage Patch Kid with whiskers. What difference does it make which way my hat is facing? I'm trying to sell hats. I'm trying to sell hats. That's Vince Russo says I'm irrelevant, but people know what Cabbage Patch Kids are. So we're going to talk about, I'm still excited about the Amazon. I want everybody to click on the banner. I could just talk about Amazon for the next. My mom will be pissed now. She's going to listen to iTunes. And you're not supposed to make fun of me. Well, I got news for you, Alice. This show's not over, and I got a lot of ammunition after this week. Time she texts me, I'll be on next week's show, so I'm not worried about it. I'll lie to her and say it was pre-recorded before our conversation. So we're back with Face Value, and much like, and I always talk about Paula, and I have another long week of conversations with Ms. Paula, but we go home to New Jersey, and everybody's very happy with the show, and I ran into lifelong iTunes. They listen to the podcast, and a lot of them catch up to the videos, and everybody goes, "Oh, we love Casey on the show." If you look around, there's an alligator's head. There's a couple of armored knights in the corner. There's some footballs. There's some memorabilia. There's Elvis. And it's me. And now, because I called her my moral compass, all of a sudden she's important. And they go, "Well, you have to." Steve McChesney, I have so much, I won't even get to the news. We went home and people said, "Oh, where's Steve? Is Steve on the next Build DeMott Experience on YouTube?" And I went, "Well, how'd you like the show? That guy Steve is so funny. He should be on everything."
You need us.
I need. Here's the good news about YouTube. They shortened it up. I actually had the name of the channel now is the Build DeMott Experience. So if you go to YouTube/C/the Build DeMott Experience, it's a lot better than all the other Morse code you had to put in before to try to get to it, unless you were. But people keep subscribing. We finished up a strong show with the kids from Oviedo, the 6U Oviedo All-Stars, as the baseball season starts up again this fall. But everybody, "Oh, hey, I missed you guys. I've been home." We love Steve on the Experience, and is Casey going to do your show every week? And Miss Paula's great. And I'm thinking, hey, you some bitches, this is the Build DeMott Experience, and now all of a sudden I'm playing the what do they call the supporting role. No one is saying go to the Moral Compass's webpage and go to Amazon. Click the Amazon banner on the BuildDeMottExperience.com. Not.
Someone's gonna make me a webpage.
Yeah, I got news for you. I'll say this out loud right now. If it ever comes to the point where go to moralcompass.com and tell them Casey sent you, I am quitting. I don't shiv a git. I'm out of here. Because I'll go sit in a storage unit and talk to myself and take my microphone with me, then see what you can do. So let's try to get to some news before we I got a great song this week. Everything ties in, I promise. It's so funny to hear the feedback and everybody, right? You sat there and my family's listening to these podcasts and they're laughing because you talk like that all the time. I said, I know, but it's funny. But it's facts. I deal in the facts. Let's get right to the facts. This is what I do with John. We're going to go right to the Pope. Let's go to the Pope because we're in New Jersey and the Pope will be in New York Thursday, Friday of this week, and all the signs and everything is up there getting ready for the Pope's visit. And the merchandise.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The Pope's merchandise. So we talked about last week, which will never get you audience with the Pope because, to remind everybody, you compared Ed Sheeran to the Pope, but we won't go any further than that because I got news for you. The Pope's tickets are being scalped for a lot more. But we'll go, for the merchandise, I mean, I can go on Amazon.com and order Ed Sheeran shirts, but you can get so the plush dolls, the Pope bobblehead,
life-size cutout.
A life-size cutout of the Pope.
Oh, you need the hat.
Just the hat. I want a hat, and if it's true that you can get Pope merchandise, buy the next face value. And you know how I'm going to find out? I'm going to go on Amazon. I'm going to go on Amazon.com. I'm going to click on my own banner. I love the fact that I'm dealing with Amazon now. I want everybody to go on Amazon. But I'm going to go on and I'm going to get a Pope bobblehead, and it's going to sit on this desk right next to me every week. So here I am. I'm all offended that people are scalping, and it's the American way. Now the Pope's got – how's it go? What's the split? 60-40, 50-50, 70-30? Who's it go to?
He probably doesn't get anything.
He doesn't get anything? And somebody's making millions of dollars. So he's got to get something.
I don't think so.
You don't think he posed for the bobblehead?
No.
Pope, sit still. No, for everybody on iTunes, I'm a.
And nobody dresses him as Pope.
Nobody dresses as the Pope. There's got to be Pope. I bet Halloween, which is now my least favorite holiday, now that the Pope is visiting, you got to wonder if there's going to be Pope Halloween costumes, which is I think it's sacrilegious.
Probably. That's what I'm
Right?
saying. They probably don't sell the hats because of that.
That's they don't sell the hat. So the bobblehead is going to be bald.
It's not even a hat. But
It's going to have the George Costanza cut, and that's it.
well, the bobblehead, it's not a real hat on the bobblehead.
But the hat, imagine at the pointy thing and it like that. I mean, what do you do? It's almost like, I don't want to say I get in trouble. Anyway, so we're done talking about the Pope. I want him to have a great visit. Security's at an all-time high, and the merchandise is going to go off the shelves. In New York, you can go to any corner and get what I feel is one of the best hot pretzels ever. And depending on if it's Christmas season, you go get the roasted nuts, which I will leave alone because it doesn't matter what time of year that is. I'm pretty sure on a hot summer day in New York, somebody's standing on the corner with roasted nuts. But that's neither here nor there. But now you can go in any corner and get your Pope merchandise. So I'd like to know the split. If anybody has these answers, I mean, I'm getting a lot of feedback lately. So somebody go to the, and we'll break it down to Twitter and the Instagram and the Facebook. Contact Realm. They'll tell me everything. But, the Pope has merchandise. So anybody out there who does that stuff, I think Bill DeMott, look at this. Let me put it in because Peyton Manning, does my head really move like this? The commercial.
Do I really look like this?
Oh, do I really look like this? Like, it depends on when you catch me. Like after a stressful day, I kind of shake in the corner anyway. So I feel like I should have a bobblehead. So I think, and a lot of people are going, hey, where do we get those hats? And back to my mother, that's why I wear the hat like this. The BDE hats, and I, on some of the episodes of on the Build 'Em Out Experience, I have the shirts, and we're looking to get those out to people who are interested. So by no way, shape, or form am I comparing myself, but I'm saying if the Pope has a bobblehead, what do you think the neck would have to look like on my bobblehead? Because my head's a little bigger than most. Can it have this neck? Because it's a 22.5-inch neck.
Well, then the whole bobblehead would have to be
rotund.
bigger.
Has there ever been a body that's bigger than the head?
I don't think so.
This is a sell. This is the things we do. We should probably talk about these things off the air instead of on face value, but this is what we do. So we got the Pope out of the way. He great visit. A lot of people looking forward to it. And we go right from the Pope, which everybody loves because I go right from one thing to the next. And since we're talking about roasted nuts, it made me think about food, and the people have roasted nuts on the corners in New York. Then you got to go to Taco Bell now, because Taco Bell now, because we talked about McDonald's and Burger King a few weeks ago, wanting to join, and then it turns out where Denny's and somebody else is joining, they're making the Happy Burger, and I don't understand all that, but Taco Bell, I think it's in Chicago, will now serve beer, wine, and sangria at the restaurants. And soon it's going to move around the country to see how it goes. I don't know if that's a good mix.
I mean,
I'd like 4 glasses of sangria and a bean burrito. So whether it's for takeout or eat in.
well, hopefully they don't serve it like in the drive-through.
Well, I'd drive through. What will you have? The smallest thing on the menu, and I'd like a gallon of beer.
But drinking and driving.
This is not what you're supposed to do.
I mean, it makes sense.
This is what's wrong, and this is why people think you're funny, because you take a good, funny little thing that I say you drink sangria and eat a bean burrito, and I'm going in a whole different direction. Like I'm thinking blow the ass out of your pants, and you're going, oh, you can't drink and drive and eat a burrito.
I'm just saying, nobody else thought about that?
Do you think you're the only person thinking about this?
Well, you're not thinking about
I'm not thinking, because the news is Taco Bell is selling beer, wine, and sangria with their food.
They're probably doing it because their demographic is mainly broke college kids that can go buy, 1,200 tacos for $5 and now get.
Now you're just exaggerating. This is what happened. Now you've lost your.
They cater to college kids. That's like their main demographic.
So what's next? Jimmy John's is going to serve sangria with the gargantuan. You just tore that story apart. That's the end of that. I'm so good. Let anybody in Chicago who's going to have sangria and drink and drive. We don't promote drinking and driving, but I will promote the hell out of a bean burrito and sangria, because you mix those two. And there's an accident waiting to happen. You're not going to drink and drive. You're trying to drive with your legs crossed, because that stuff's going to go through you like shit through a goose. I would like the double chicken burrito supreme, and I would like 2 things of sangria and a change of pants. They'll tie you with Depends. Taco Bell is now merged with Depends and boxed wine companies. For every box of wine, you get a free 12-pack of burritos. You killed that one. That one's. I'm absolutely disgusted that I even brought that up.
I'm just being your moral compass.
No, you were trying to say don't drink and drive, which is nice, but then we should go, hey, everyone, don't drink or drive. Here they go. I mean, this is what's happening on face value. Let me explain to everybody driving right now and listening to this on a Tuesday afternoon. I have my daughter sitting adjacent. How about that word? N-hi-o. And then their mother is running around the back trying to give me notes. Now, there's a whole week between face value to face value, and nobody cares about anything I do until I start to entertain the masses again. I don't understand what the Texas governor has to do with anything. Uh-oh. The Texas governor is now on my shit list. Win the game. Maybe Dallas will sign Tim Tebow. I got to talk to Paul about this, because I'm not talking about the Cowboys and the Giants right now. That upset what turned out to be a beautiful weekend. We're not going to talk about football. Let's talk about this. I love my niece to death, but I talked to my boys, the Skiba boys, and I love the Giants. Always, forever. Go Giants. And I talked to my boy, Eddie Skiba, who I've known his whole life, and he's like a great kid, and so I touched base. I said, hey, I'm in town. And he goes, hey, you going to the game? No, I'm going to a wedding. The home opener for the Giants against Atlanta. and I had to go to a wedding. Love the wedding, love my family, is great, but the Giants lost because I wasn't there. Let's move on. More on that on Thursday with Miss Paula, the gloating son of a gun. That noise, I heard this noise on iTunes, and that noise is me. For everybody on iTunes who hears that noise, that's me with the unlit cigar. Clapping I'm doing that. So I'm going to try not to do that because I found that annoying in between the humor. Of course not, because you're telling everybody don't drink and drive, and you're saying don't eat Taco Bell because they're going to get you drunk and in trouble.
I'm not saying don't eat Taco Bell.
What are you saying?
Saying don't drink and drive. That's all. That's it. Be responsible.
What part of me saying Taco Bell remotely goes to drinking and driving?
And I thought, well, they have a drive-thru, so if you get like a bottle of beer when you order a taco, you drink the beer while you're driving. That's not a good idea.
I don't think that's it, though. I think you have to be in-house, and it's probably...
But still, but then you gotta...
But imagine if it was... I'd like a number 3 large. Imagine the size cup of beer I could get. So for
that's just a normal cup of beer for you.
Yeah, but to everybody else for like $5 and, you know, all they got to do is bring back cigar smoking in there. I'd probably never leave Taco Bell.
You're drinking, you got to drive home.
We're going to go back to until I point to you. Don't. I didn't say, Casey, what's your opinion on this? You went, well, I hope they're not promoting.
I'm not saying they're promoting.
Premarital sex comes from going through a drive-thru and having too much sangria and a bean burrito. One good fart, and all of a sudden, kids are being born. There's problems when you think like that. There really is. Let's get away from Taco Bell because you can't get that on Amazon. Amazon, call me. How about the lottery in Illinois? I just go with, again, to catch everybody up who's not hip to it. It's face value. This is Bill DeMott. I'm a simple guy. I like to have a little fun, but deliver the facts and talk about the week's events. And I have not found an occasion to be serious and on a soapbox yet. Next week, though, watch this fall apart on me. But next week, I have on this show Richard Estep, who is the ghost hunter I've been talking about. So that's next week. So face value, it'll be an actual interview instead of entertainment. See what I did there? I made it seem like that wasn't going to be entertaining. But speaking of my guest next week and the ghost hunter, it's Bill Murray's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
This week. And I'm a big Bill. I'm not an animal. Oh, she's going to hit the 3-iron. Nothing? Caddyshack? Okay. You really got to start watching some more Netflix or whatever it is. Bill Murray. Class act. Let's talk about the Illinois lottery. People are playing the lottery in Illinois, and they're not paying out. I'm waiting. I thought there'd be more to this. They're not paying out because the state has not announced a budget. So they will continue to allow people to play the lottery and buy the tickets and invest the money on the thousands and tens of thousands a week people are buying lottery tickets. Millions. And people, there's millions of dollars being owed, and they're not going to pay out until the state passes their budget. Why are they still playing the lottery in Illinois? What is in Illinois that's any good? Metropolis. Is that Illinois?
Yes.
The home of Superman. That's it. So why do that? Why are you still playing the lottery? Where can you drive? Where's Moline? Moline's Illinois? Is Moline Illinois? Well, you can't do anything there in Moline. There's good gambling in Moline. I
said home of every people.
So you're going to play the lottery in Illinois, knowing you're not going to get paid off. And what's the thing? They're giving IOUs or something like that. And that son of a bitch is giving the IOUs. If he dies, then there's IOU is no good. I think the lottery's a hoax. I'm going to say that. I'll say the lottery.
You play the lottery.
But it's a hoax because I think if you play so much and you're ridiculous and lose so much money, it's a tax write-off. But I haven't paid. Well, we won't go there. See what I did there? Big can of worms. I almost said you don't pay your taxes and you don't play the Illinois lottery. Let's get away with it. People in Illinois, this is Bill DeMott. I love you. You guys are great wrestling fans. I've always enjoyed my time there. Stop paying the lottery. They're not paying you. Even if you win, you don't win. Invest your money in a Pope bobblehead. Go to Amazon.com. Go to my webpage, BillDemottExperience.com. Hit the Amazon button. Buy yourself something nice. Stop giving the state of Illinois your money until they're willing to pay off what they. Oh, I'll say it. That's not wrong. Stop giving Illinois your money. You're just pissing your money away.
The whole state's gonna shut down.
Maybe this week. Maybe this week they'll start paying off. I'll play again this week. Until the state comes out openly and says, we will now back pay all the people that have won these millions of dollars. And from now on, we will not hold off regardless of what the state budget is. It's just crooked. How is that not crooked? You're saying you're not going to pay until the state fixes their budget, but you're still going to take people's money for playing the lottery. Suspend the lottery.
Or they have more issues about the budget than they're letting on.
Taco Bell is never going to put a sangria bar in Illinois because there'll be some drunk double chicken beef burrito eating curly. They don't have curly fries. What do they got? Cinnamon sticks. What do they have?
Yeah, something like that.
Taco Bell, stay out of Illinois until they pay their people the lottery.
The one opening in you said in Chicago. This one that's
but Chicago's not really Illinois. Chicago's like
its own state,
its own thing.
Okay.
Chicago's like the new New York, which means there's people on every corner roasting nuts and there's people selling bobbleheads. Taco Bell is doing. Here's the tie-in. So everybody who's driving right now, listening to this show, and for my mom, I'm gonna tie this up. I'm gonna wrap this segment up. They're going to Chicago first because it's the windy city. Sangria and a beef burrito from Taco Bell, windy.
Smelly.
Or it's a fart is the other word for windy city. That's why they're doing it. I should be the ambassador to the United States. I should tour every state and give them my version of logic. No, shut up, Casey. I'm gonna let me do the news right now. Let me fix my hat so my mommy can see my face. I put a whole new definition on only a face a mother could love. What else did I need to talk about today before I talk about the family reunion? Let's talk about Turd Ferguson. You want to talk about Turd Ferguson? So, you know me, I'm going to get this story half right. But so back a couple years ago, whatever it was probably like 20 years ago or whatever, there was a skit on Saturday Night Live, and Norm Macdonald, who I talked about. You see, this stuff all ties in. Everybody's listening. We talked about Norm Macdonald, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, which brought us this week to Taco Bell, to the Windy City. With the bobblehead. It all ties in. So we're back to Will Ferrell, who I talked about weeks ago getting inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. I still don't get it.
What?
Did you catch up on the Will Ferrell?
No.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, he's funny.
Baseball Hall of Fame. He played in 10 games in 10 cities while he was getting ready for his HBO special. So see, now I'm repeating myself. So this is not relevant news. So anyway, back to Will Ferrell plays Alex Trebek on Saturday Night Live back in the day. Norm Macdonald does his Burt Reynolds impersonation, but he calls himself Turd Ferguson. Go look it up on YouTube right after you go to the Bill DeMott Experience on YouTube. Always get the show in there. Where is it? There, the YouTube channel. There it is. It's up on the screen. YouTube/C/the Bill DeMott Experience. And when you go to anything I do, click on the Amazon banner. I'm going back to Amazon. So anyway, back to Saturday Night Live. Norm Macdonald calls himself Turd Ferguson. So fast forward to present day, last week or something like that, and they've been trying to get Alex Trebek to say Turd Ferguson, and it hasn't happened. So one girl who forgive me, her name is
Talia.
Yeah. Mrs. Jeopardy lady who was making a guess. She said, "My name is Turd Ferguson." What is it?
No, she said, What is the love ballad?
What is the love battle? What is the love ballad of Turd Ferguson and Hi Mom, I Love You? That was her answer to the final question of the big money. And Alex Trebek, and only the way he can, reads it very professionally. What is the ballad of Turd Ferguson and Mom, I Love You? That is incorrect. And he moves on like nothing ever happened, which is only second to Alex Trebek rapping. What was that, a couple years ago? When he had to rap the lyrics to a song or something like that. So Turd Ferguson makes the news. Which, if you're paying attention to everything I do, really ties into the Taco Bell thing. Because, wait, what? Look at the point. Hi-oh. It all ties in. People think I don't put any time into this. I have notes. I have an unlit cigar. I have the biggest glass of water that I'll drink from. But I put a lot of thought and effort into the show, and I've just tied everything together, leading me to Turd Ferguson.
You did a lot off the cuff, though.
I do everything off the cuff. I don't know how it ever works out.
So you just lied.
I don't. No, I'm not lying. I put a lot of thought into this as I'm doing it. That's not wrong. I put a lot of thought into this. Here's what I put a lot of thought into. I don't buy Volkswagens.
They're expensive.
Yeah. You know why they're expensive? Because the cat who runs Volkswagen's been lying to the world and put in like phony flux capacitors that aren't doing anything for the emissions, the environment, and now there's a recall. And listen, my facts, the numbers could be 500,000 vehicles or something like that. And the guy comes out and says, I'm sorry, I dishonored the company and myself, and I'm sorry. Social media, where are you? Because if I did something like that,
Well,
or anybody,
yeah.
500,000 cars because he took a shortcut and lied. Volkswagen's going to take a big hit for this. Emissions is a big deal. California, all that stuff is a big deal. More importantly, emissions is gas. Gas is Turd Ferguson. Turd Ferguson was Taco Bell, which brings me back, and it all ties in. So Volkswagen has screwed the pooch, but they admit it, so that's okay. I'm a firm believer that if you admit that you did something underhanded and did it for benefit of yourself only, it's okay. You don't believe that, right?
No.
Well, it's ridiculous. So why does the guy come out and go, I'm very sorry?
Because people probably aren't passing their emissions test, and then they're gonna go.
Yeah, but he's sorry.
Okay, but if I pay $60,000 for a Volkswagen, it doesn't pass the emission test because some guy decided it was going to save him a couple $1,000s on making the car.
Here she goes again. Taco Bell sangria. She's talking about drunk driving. I want to know where you think you got $60,000 to buy a Volkswagen to begin with. So this is the most ridiculous conversation ever.
I'm just saying, if I was a Volkswagen buyer, I'd be pretty upset.
I don't understand what's going on here. In fashion news, because I'm going to stop drinking water in my cup. I'm going to go to Taco Bell and get sangria. In fashion news, here it is. Everybody write this down. Let me put it on the screen. If everybody who's on iTunes, it says Face Value with Bill DeMott. This is news. I'm a fashion guy. If you notice, I have a red hat with red headphones. A red book behind me. Red. And for the first 38 years of my life, my eye blood red. Bloodshot. So there's red. A book.
Once. Which one?
Green eggs and ham. And now, what were we talking about?
Fashion news.
Oh, fashion news. Black. The new black. I don't understand. I don't understand what that means. Black is now back in fashion.
Yeah.
When was it out of fashion?
I don't know.
There's nothing. So the equivalent to the fashion news on the Bill DeMott Experience right here on face value. So I'm gonna give you the equivalent. Equivalent.
Yes.
What did I say? Equivalent. Hashtag equivalent.
It's like Harry Potter spell.
It's absolutely impossible to make up these hashtags. Equivalent. What is it?
Equivalent.
I couldn't say it wrong again if I had to.
It's a Harry Potter spell.
Harry Potter. It's a Billism. Hashtag Billism. So here's my analogy. Black is the new. What were we talking about?
Black is the new.
But what was the analogy going to be?
You said you were going to give the. I don't even know.
I don't get it. I don't get that. Black is the new black, and I don't understand why people wear socks with sandals. And I don't understand why that made the news.
Socks with sandals?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it made the news. I thought that was always a thing.
I want to know why every young man in the sound of my voice feels they have to wear their socks up to their knees.
Oh, like the slides?
No, I don't know. It was how does everyone feel about socks and sandals? Sandals are for the beach. You walk on the beach with your sandals.
When you say sandals, like the ones between your toes or the ones that go over? Like the
Are you kidding me? There's a difference?
Yes. I work on a shoe store. There's a difference. I'm just asking.
iTunes, I have a look of disgust on my face right now. You are taking everything I'm saying today and turning it. This is not the Casey show.
You told me to sit on the show.
Yeah, I said sit.
I'm just trying to get more involved.
Sit until this.
I'm giving the viewers what they want.
What? The viewers, they don't even see you. They could give a tinker's damn.
But they hear me and they like me.
You're less funny when you're trying to be informative. This is pissing me off. Because I had a great analogy for black is the new black.
And you messed it up because you said equivalent.
Equivalent?
Yes.
What is equivalent?
That's what you said.
Hashtag equivalent.
It's equivalent, but you said equivalent.
Equivalent. Equivalent?
Equivalent.
Equivalent.
Yes, that's the right word.
That's an equivalency diploma. What is that?
Equivalency diploma.
Equivalency. Is that two different things? I don't like fashion, so I'm not talking about it anymore.
They're going to put that in the dictionary.
Well, they better put something in the dictionary because that's the red book that's behind me. So here's all my notes.
It's the only book you've read.
And it's the only book I read one word a day and equivalent. What is it?
Equivalent.
Yes, that's in there. So that's the word of the week is equivalent. Top TV show of all time, Friends. This is me tapping on my desk. This is where I should have Vince Russo should be my guest right now. I'm going to call Vince this week. I'm going to get on something of his, one of his shows and say, Vince, you've called me irrelevant. I don't take offense to it because I talk about things, the greatest years in the history of everything. Top TV show of all time. Friends, number one. Seinfeld was like in the top 10, maybe. MASH was, I think, in the top 25. I don't know where All in the Family was. I don't know where The Honeymoon was. Friends. Sopranos, maybe the top 15. Friends. Regina Phalange. When were we talking about that? Was that this weekend? That was this weekend. My daughters were flying. So that's it. I can't keep talking about the news because I got to talk about my weekend with my family. Oh, no, I want to talk about Howard Stern real quick. America's Got Talent. We watched it because the guy was like the regurgitator. And the guy would swallow anything in it. Like he would put it in and he'd go, and he'd swish it around and make his belly do things. And there's got to be a trick to it. But I don't know what it is, but it was fascinating. So he lost.
Oh, you mean you don't know?
No. No. But that's my thing. Can he burp up cold ice cream? Right? Because I can eat a shrimp today and burp up a shrimp next week whole after chewing it. But this I'm not on America's Got Talent. So the whole thing, America's Got Talent, the regurgitator, fascinating, loses to the ventriloquist, who's from England, on America's Got Talent. And the gentleman who won, who's very talented, said that's why he comes over here to America because they have the greatest opportunities. The name of the show is what? America's Got Talent. Did an American win?
No.
Then it's the new name, I think, Nick Cannon, who's actually very funny. Nick.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Call me. We'll do the thing. Drumline. Loved it.
Yeah.
How about that? You didn't think I knew that?
No, I know you.
Okay, good. I want to do somewhere in the world somebody has talent. I want the show to be. And I'm not knocking the show. I think it was a great show.
Yeah.
But the regurgitator from Ireland didn't win. But on America's Got Talent.
You want to know why they come here? Because Simon Cowell, I think, does Britain's Got Talent. So they don't stay over there because he's going to kick them off the first go. I mean, they're all his shows anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
do you want to change seats?
No.
Do you want to sit over here and I'll sit over there?
No.
And I'll just chime in when I'm asked and you tell me?
Give me a cigar?
I gave you a cigar this weekend and your grandmother almost had a fit. So back to America's Got Talent. Howard Stern, who more and more is becoming someone I want to keep doing research on, because back in the day, and again, I can say that, when I was a young man breaking into the wrestling industry in the New York, New Jersey area, I would often do, how can I say, side jobs. I did things to stay busy and to make money when I was just starting out in wrestling. A bodyguard of sorts for Howard Stern when he was back on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah. I think it was WNBC. Well, he was doing a stunt out in front of the Garden or something, and I had to meet him there at like 4 a.m. and nobody touched Howard. Kind of, sort of. I was a big, heavy guy who made sure no one got next to him, so I was his security for the week. So I met Howard Stern that time, and he's had a great career. And they did a great piece on him at the close because Howard announced that was his last year on America's Got Talent. And for a guy who's been called every name in the book, no good, low life, cheesy, sleazy. I mean, his language is atrocious at times. He has his own radio show, and he did, for years, he got famous on doing what he wanted to entertain the people.
What does that sound like?
That was perfect. That's what you should try. Who's that sound like? So I'm trying to do the same thing, but I can't go on anywhere in the world who's got talent come here and win. But anyway, Howard Stern was thankful, and it was a great piece because he was glad that people got to see a side of him they didn't know. He was on a family show, and he conducted himself great, and he had great interaction with the guests and the judges and all these things. He had great insight, and his critiques were good, and he was funny, and he was sincere, and I was like, man, that's really cool. So, Nick Cannon, call me. I'll replace Howard. I'll lather up and hug up on that Howie Mandel.
Oh, he'll hate you.
I'd hug up on him. And we talked about Heidi Klum last week, so it all ties in. For everybody who says I don't tie things in, I just tied everything in for like the past month. So America's Got Talent, I like that show a lot. I liked Howard. I don't know who's going to replace him. I'm not concerned. Maybe it's that Tom Bergeron.
Why?
He's in everything else. He's got a bobblehead.
But he's the host of the show. He's not like...
Tom Bergeron?
He hosts shows. He's not...
He left America's Funniest Home Videos. He's after so many years. And he has a bobblehead. He used to give out the bobbleheads.
But now he does Dancing with the Stars.
And we talked about that last week with Gary Busey. See, this works out. Face Value is a good show. No, I in this capacity. Now, don't say a word now until I go.
No.
See, there it is. Back to a little bit of airtime, and all of a sudden you're relevant. So let's talk about. I went back to New Jersey, and we didn't. Here's the good news: we didn't take American Airlines via Honolulu. We got on a very well-equipped plane. We flew JetBlue. Free plug for JetBlue. It started out very cattywampus because we got Mama and I got a trial thing for the Clear, which is only in certain parts of the country. So Clear is like the TSE or TSA, whatever it is.
Yes.
So if you sign up for Clear, you can go through and no waits and all that. We just had to go and show our ID and finish out the process. So we went a little early with your brother, who's 6, and at 5 a.m., 6 is 3. So we got there, and the supervisor, oh, we'll go over here, and we kept going and trying to do it. And 40 minutes later, I'm walking away, and I'm starting to get beefed and sweaty, and I'm aggravated. It's sick now. It's 6:30 in the morning, and the flight leaves at 8. So we started out with Clear. So it wasn't it started out rough, and I went, if the whole freaking 4 days goes like this, I'm going to lose my mind. That, and my wife doesn't know how to pack luggage, and I don't care who says what. We got charged for the luggage, and that's grounds for debate because it doesn't matter. We got there safe. That's how it started. I'm saying it because she's somewhere in the background giving me a dirty look. So we go to New Jersey. I love going home. My brother's oldest daughter is getting married. So that means my 3 kids, my brother's 3 kids are all there. First time in a long time. The DeMott clan was in full force. My parents came up from Georgia, which was a task in itself, but they were up there, and the whole family, my brother's wife's family, who's great, was there, and we just had a great time. I went to the Goffle Grill where I grew up. I went back into Midland Park area to the Goffle Grill, took a picture of it, put it on Instagram. Bring my family to Goffle Grill, one of the best places to have hot dogs in the state of New Jersey, and they all ordered cheeseburgers. iTunes, right now I'm sitting here with a disgusted look on my face.
The only place.
No. This is now the Bill DeMott show. This is the Face Value show. I don't need a moral compass yet. I'll point to you when. My wife says to me, well, how was I supposed to know it was a hot dog place? Because you took a picture of the sign, and it's a giant effing hot dog.
The only thing that
No, I'm not done.
Menu.
So then we get in there, and then, what do you have? What do you have? And you see the guy in the sweater. What do you have? What do you have? It's like a Saturday night, like cheese boogie. No Pepsi Coke. It's a giant hot dog. What would you like? Oh, I'd like a cheeseburger. What would you like? Well, I'll have a cheeseburger. And I'm like the lone duck in the thing. I'd like 2 all the way, and I'm going to sit in the corner embarrassed.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I was hungry, so I was going to eat a cheeseburger.
So we ate embarrassed with our heads down in a hot dog place. We had hamburgers. I had the hot dog, plural. And then we drove to where I grew up a little bit, and I always like to drive and see how it's changed up there so much. And then we spent so much family time. We went to the Fireplace in Paramus on Route 17. I want to say it's Ridgewood Ave right there. Anybody who's ever wants to go to a great place to eat, go to the Fireplace on Route 17 in Paramus. Frank and the boys, my boy Ronnie Novello is there. I go to the places that I'm comfortable with, and I love going home, and I always say, and it's not a bad thing, but I say the food is so much better at home. The bread tastes different. Everything tastes different. You know, my mother wanted to go to Ted's Deli for the potato salad, and she wanted Goffle Grill for this, and you had to go to this for that, and the other thing for that, because you don't get it all in one place. And then we just spent some quality time with family. It was fun until they all sat around and catching up on my podcast and turn your head around so you can see your face. And Casey should talk more. Turned into that.
Well, that was before
So
I got
we're
there.
again. I didn't even point. I didn't even say anything.
I'm just saying that was before I got there, and then I got there and they came with y'all. Like,
Keep going. You keep talking. I'm gonna get drowned. I'll be like the ventriloquist who wasn't from America who won the whole damn thing.
Where's your puppet?
I'll show you off the air where my puppet is. It's between these 2 fingers. That's my puppet. It's a finger puppet. So we're in New Jersey, and now, So every show I talk about the music, right? So we're at this wedding. So it's comedy, right? Because you got a huge Cuban family, which is my niece's husband now, Eddie. Great family. My brother's side, Irish. So you have the Cubans and the Irish
Literally split down
in one room, and it was tremendous. That my niece looked beautiful. The what do they call it, bridal party was great. Everything was great. So my nephew, who's now of age and thinks he can hang with his Uncle Bill, wants to do a couple shots. I didn't. I supervised. They had a couple shots. So I said to him, get the DJ to play something. So this ties into my music because I do music every week, and usually I play, we played Uma Thurman. Yeah, and just for everybody last week, the Munsters are what hides under my son's bed when he doesn't go to sleep on time. The Munsters was a TV show. That's what I went home to. My brother sat there and goes, "You're an idiot. The show is the Munsters." I looked at him and I go, "You're the idiot. I'm funny. It's monsters." Which then in turn probably made you the idiot because I had to explain who Fred Gwynn was. Now you have nothing to say. This is what I went home because my family wanted to ridicule me on my speech, my appearance, and how I conduct myself. Which now makes me completely regret why I went home in the first place. Come to think of it, this was a shitty trip. I'm not going. So here's my music for this week. I always say pull out these new songs. So all these people. I said my brother's the Pope of Bergen County, and he walks around and everybody, oh. So we're at this wedding, and I just want to lay low. And so I said to the guy, I said to my nephew, get the DJ to play something by the Beatles. The song Something. That was my wedding song. I wanted to dance with my wife. So my nephew goes up and goes, can you play something by the Beatles? The guy of the non-English speaking persuasion, sure. And automatically plays Michelle. We have salsa music. We got dance music, and you tell the guy to play something by the Beatles, and this party instantly slowed down in here. Michelle, and you had 200 people looking at each other and go, what the hell is he playing? So I look at my nephew and go, no, something by the Beatles. So he goes back and goes, can you play something by the Beatles? The DJ goes, anything, right? No, something. The song is something. So literally had to pull it up and show him that he played it. So
I was there. What are you looking at me for?
Well, I'm just saying the music. That was my music thing. I was going to play Taylor Swift, but you had a fit.
Yeah.
So something by the Beatles. So the conversation was play something by the Beatles. You got it, man. Michelle. That's not it. So then he actually played like 2 other Beatles songs before he actually understood what was being said.
There was a lot of salsa music.
It was great. Everybody was dancing. It was.
All the Cubans were dancing.
Your grandfather was dancing. Everybody was dancing. Uncle Eddie. Everybody was dancing. It was a great party. The food was great. The atmosphere was great. The weather. Oh, we didn't do the weather here in Florida.
It's hot.
There's a chance of rain. Here's what didn't happen in New Jersey. It didn't rain. When we were there, it didn't get above 77 at best. At night, the windows were down in the car on the way back to the hotel. Oh, the weather was great.
Mm-hmm. You didn't die of heat stroke? No
heat stroke. I actually had the same shirt on all day because I didn't beef through 4 of them walking my dog. What else happened? I'm trying to give full disclosure so I don't get in trouble for any stories I'm not supposed to tell. Mary, my girlfriend Mary up there, who's my sister-in-law's mother, who I love to death.
Hi, Mary.
She's so fun. Hi, Mary. I told her I'd say hello. And my sister-in-law, who thought it was funny that I talked about her and how she banned your uncle from going out with me. No sooner was that said than she banned my nephew, who will be 23 years old in November. And me kidding because I'm a very funny guy. I said to him, Tyler, you've yet to go out with me. His mother grabbed him by the neck. And she said, you will not ever go out with him. Bad things happen when you go out with him. People get in fights. People get hurt. Sometimes people get arrested. Sometimes they don't come home. And I'm thinking, it's never really been that bad.
But all
those things happen, but it's never been that bad all the time. But I just thought it was funny that she said, because, your Aunt Gina will just sit there and say something. She come out of her chair and grabbed him by the skin of his neck. And he's like, yeah, he's 6'3". And she grabbed him and said, you will not go out with him. And the kid's eyes, he got all bugabooed and looking at me. And I'm going, I can't help you, man. Because that's the same face she had when I destroyed your father. That's what happened when she found your father laying outside drunk. That's the same face.
The queen is spoken. So
that's, she laid the law. And she goes, you know not to mess with me. And I was like, I know, I didn't argue.
You're like afraid of her. It's kind of funny.
Well, I bet we've been together,
but
30 years.
But it's funny.
It never used to be that way. What happened was when her husband, my brother, which I think takes precedence over presidents?
No.
Presidents?
No.
Precedence.
There you go.
Him being my brother takes precedence over being her husband. So if I want to take him out, leave him standing on the side of a tree so he gets fresh air before he pukes. I was thinking about him being sick inside the house. Anyway, she jumped out of the chair, grabbed her son by the neck, who's a grown-ass man, works for the Ramsey Police Department. All these kids who grew up are working for the police department. Grabbed him by his neck and said, you will not go out with your uncle ever. And part of me, I think internally I said, you can't tell him what to do. I didn't say it out loud. So I didn't take him out. But we did drink a couple of beverages at the wedding. As did you.
I did. Sangria.
No tacos. So Tyler was there. Uncle Eddie was there. Who else was there? We had fun. My daughters, I will say this, and I have no problem putting my family on blast because it should be fair all the way around. If I'm going to talk about how mean my sister-in-law is to me, I'm going to talk about how uncoordinated my daughters are. Because I've never seen anything so be quiet. You have the rhythm of a breadstick. This was some of the best music I've ever heard in the longest time, and it was live, and the DJ and the lights and stuff, and there's people out there dancing. Get out there and dance. And there's my wife who still moves, and it's great. And everybody, my brother who has the grace of a dead possum is out there dancing. And then my daughters get out there, and it's like slow-mo. It's like I could feel the snot running out of my nose, and it was more graceful. It was just because, it come down your nose, around you.
Dancing.
I don't have to dance. I'm Bill DeMott. It has nothing to do with it. You two cannot dance. You're 22 and 20 years old.
You never played a dance.
I don't understand how that happens. I just want to say,
I don't know how to salsa.
Listen, you.
I wasn't even attempting it. That was like.
And then my nephew, the fruit booty, he's dancing. I don't know what he's doing. He's my nephew. I say whatever I want. The music hit him. All of a sudden, he was like Denny Terrio. He was dancing with everybody under the sun. He's 13 trying to mac on chicks that are 19. You want to dance? No. Can I just dance while you're not looking at me? And the kid was in every video and he was dead. They made a circle around him. And I think half the time they made the circle because they didn't want him to hurt himself, so they wouldn't bump in anything. But he
Don't pick on
I'm just
him.
kidding. He was great. He was a ball. He had the time of his life. It was great.
Fun, yeah.
I've never actually witnessed a 13-year-old try to pick up chicks before. and with those dance moves.
You should have heard the stuff he was telling.
It doesn't matter what he said. The fact I sat there with my brother. 6 people came from us from behind and goes, we knew who that was by the back of your heads. My brother looks at me and goes, what is that supposed to mean? I said, you got a fat head. I recognize him from the back. He's got like the hot dog thing going on his neck. You ever seen like a package of hot dogs, how it rolls up? That's what it looks like on the back of his head.
You see the text.
3 people came up and goes, I knew it was the DeMott boys by the back of your heads. And he looked at me and goes, yeah, but he looked at me and goes, what's that mean? I'm like, you got a big head. And he got all offended. I'm thinking that was too easy. So my punishment for saying that was I had to walk my parents down the aisle. It was punishment. I love my parents. The last minute they decided to have, I walked my mother and father down the aisle. And then Tommy and Brian walked Mary down the aisle, which was great. It was an honor. The conversation had from point A to point B.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were talking about.
Should have been recorded. My father said to me, he goes, what are all these people doing here? I says, well, they're here for the wedding. He says, when's it start? I says, when we sit down. He goes, where are we sitting? I said, we're over there. He goes, how are we getting there? I said, we're walking. Really slow. But it was fun. It was fun. He said to me on the way there, it's a big, beautiful fountain. We're in the Rockley Country Club. Big, beautiful fountain. On the way there, he says he's looking at the people, and it's a long walk. On the way back, he goes, Junior, look at the water fountain. I'm thinking, that was the same water fountain. So you gotta have fun with your dad sometimes. He was a riot. They danced. To see my parents dance was great. To see everybody dance, my brother loosened up. Did I mention he had a fat head from behind and people noticed it? We took pictures in the sun. That was the other thing they didn't tell me when they. No, the other thing, no one asked me if they could have this wedding on Giant Sunday. I fought tooth and nail.
You mean you tried?
Well, I didn't RSVP because Mama, the boss of everything, just answers we'll be there. I didn't even get asked if I wanted to go to my niece's wedding. I just got, yes, we're going.
You're her godfather.
I am the godfather.
No, not the. Whatever.
So it's on the opening game was this weekend. Giants Atlanta. Everybody gave up their tickets because my family are season ticket holders. So I kept pushing for, do you think I can go to the game? Starts at 1. The ceremony part didn't start till 6:30. Don't do it, it's not right. Don't do it, it's not right.
You asked everybody but the bride.
Oh, I did ask her, and she gave me for iTunes, that's a face. She gave me the face. So we didn't go to the Giant game, but it was a beautiful wedding. I got orange juice dumped on me. Sunday morning, we went to take the groom, Eddie, for breakfast. So I went with Billy, told him to get dressed in his tux. And the girl comes with his orange juices, and she literally just dumps it over the back of me and your brother. And I went, oh, shit, how do I explain that? But he didn't freak out. And the waitress said I couldn't get past the big head from behind. I looked at my brother and I said, it's you again. So a lot of things. I think we can do 2 more shows on what happened in New Jersey, but like nothing. It was great. I knew where I was going. I loved driving there. We come out of the airport. Whoa. Mama's talking to brother. I'm just holding on. I don't feel good. Just let me get off the phone until we get there because she got all nervous.
You're in rare form when you get up there.
Something happens to me as soon as I get Jersey air.
The whole time.
It's amazing.
I think it's who you really are.
It's not. It's really.
We rarely get to see it.
So what are you saying? I'm acting like Bill?
No, I'm saying.
Well, that doesn't make any sense the way you just said.
But you drive like a maniac when you're up there.
Oh, I didn't.
Like if I had never driven with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Did we get where we were supposed to go?
Yeah. But
safely and on time?
And breaking a bunch of traffic laws.
Not one traffic law that 4 of the people didn't break did I break.
I'm just saying, like, if I hadn't been driving with you for the past 22 years of my life, I could never get in a car with you after driving with you for one day in New Jersey.
And why can I do that when I'm in New Jersey?
Because you're building one.
Because I'm building one. Doesn't make any sense. The All-American Flag Act. Let's change the subject for a minute. They signed the bill. The All-American and Florida flags have to be made in the United States. Oh, that all American flags and Florida flags, because Florida's not American. This is the worst story ever put in front of me. When I go to a live late night show, I'm not going to have this stuff. The cue cards they throw them. All American flags and the Florida flag has to be made in the United States. Why? And they cannot be made by Volkswagen. That's where we're at. That's how we tie this whole thing into a knot. So where are we at this week? That's it. So face value. We talked about a little bit of the news. We welcome Amazon to the BillDemottExperience.com. I'm going to have a lot to do with Amazon. I'm going to feature them a lot on my shows here on the Realm Network. I love it on iTunes. I enjoy. I don't think I sound, when I listen to it on iTunes, like when we were driving, I don't think that's me. So I think they do something to my voice. Is that right?
Wow.
Or does anybody think they sound differently? I think I sound differently.
No, everybody sounds differently.
My voice is different than how I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well, I like when we watch it back.
You sound like one of the lollipop kids.
I know. I don't like the way I sound.
Speaking of lollipop kids, how about that guy at the wedding?
Don't go into that.
So this guy, Eddie, who married my niece, who I think he's great. I love this guy to death. There's this guy walks in the wedding, and I went, whoa. And I get all excited. What's the matter? I go, I didn't know he was going to be here. You think I can take a picture of him? And one of his uncles had the coif, and he had the white hair and the point. And from the neck up, and I started saying, "We represent the lollipop."
He was like 6 feet tall, and you spent 25 minutes trying to find that guy to take a picture with him and call him a lollipop.
I did. I would have cropped it from the neck up and just taken a picture of the face because
It's not right. It can't be.
That was great.
For 25 minutes, you were going on and making a scene about the guy.
Okay, answer me right now. Yes or no? Did he look like one of the lollipop kids?
I don't know. I only saw him from the back. I didn't see his hair.
He looked dead on. I grabbed my brother. I'm like,
I saw that. Everybody heard that because it was out loud. You were like 15 feet away from me. And I heard you telling him, hey, it's one of the lollipop kids. I'm like, Dad, you can't.
Because I have no problem. Whatever I'm going to say to someone quietly, I have no problem saying in the open either.
You don't know that guy.
I don't have to know him. I said, man, I just would have done it so nice. I would have said, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming to the wedding. Have a great time. And he would have thanked me, not knowing that I thought he was one of the original lollipop kids. And for everybody who doesn't know who the lollipop kids are, the Wizard of Oz back in the day. My father-in-law looks like he tell everybody he's one of the original lollipop kids.
Well,
Except the lollipop, none of the lollipop kids look like Elvis. He got the freaking sideburns. Listening to his 8-track, and he's trying to push himself off as a lollipop kid. So thank you for that, Larry.
Bye, Grandpa.
But yeah, hey, my family, nothing's off the table here. I'm gonna get you all. Unbelievable. My mother wanted me to turn my hat around so people could see my face on a podcast. Jesus, Alice, we're on iTunes. They should see your face. And she's not even Jewish. That's why they should see your face. Like an old Jewish lady.
She's not.
Why do you hide your face? My mother's 4'1.5".
She's not.
And it's so annoying to talk to her because you got to come all the way down.
She's not.
So let's conclude this. My mother's an old Yiddish woman.
She's not.
Mary thinks I'm funny because you say hi-oh. My sister-in-law would rather beat her kids than have them go out with me.
Yeah.
I
need you.
What else? My dad has a full head of hair. 7 people who haven't seen your grandfather in like 10 years.
Yeah.
They say nothing else. Like, I can't believe the head of hair he still has. You got to be shitting me.
It's true though.
He could have been there stock naked. He could have been there stock naked. And he never looked up one time. Gina's brother, Tommy, he goes, Billy, I cannot believe the head of hair he still has. I'm going, that's it? Not Bill, what a sharp the tie I had on was the bomb.
Yeah.
Nothing. Well, your father has such a head of hair. I don't even know if that's a my brother has a fat head and my father has such a head of hair. I don't know how to conclude this.
I mean, he does though.
He does have a hell of a head of hair.
Most people his age are bald.
Yeah. Bald. So that's it. We had a great time. We got back to New Jersey. We saw some people. We did some things. That's the Bill DeMott experience. We caught up with family, which is well needed. My nephew, David, drove up from Delaware, and we got to hang out with him, which was good. So we made Mary laugh. Back to my sister-in-law who threatens her kids that they can't go out with their favorite uncle. And I am their favorite uncle. How about all those people came out and said, you don't remember me, do you? And I said, no, because they were 2. And now they're all 6'4", and they walk around carrying guns because they're all cops.
Oh, yeah, I would say like Peter.
And I keep in touch with them all, but when you see them, they go, holy crap, they're so grown up. Now go away. Now go get me something.
Well, they all wanted to do shots with you.
Well, that's it. They all wanted to do, but they were all getting they didn't realize, they're like, oh, Uncle Bill, let's do shots. And they all call me Uncle Bill, and they all want to do shots. But there's all the women across the way, all the mothers. Patty, Gina's sister,
yeah,
right? All they're looking, what are you doing? It's not me. So I did the shots.
Why did a shot? I did 2 shots.
That's not really shots. We'll have to talk about that another time. What you kids drink nowadays is beyond me.
I don't know. I just did what was given to me because I don't do shots. So
I don't feel good about you going out at night by yourself.
I don't go out. When do I go out?
Well, I found out you think you own a $60,000 Volkswagen, and now you follow people and just do what they ask you to do.
I own a
There's
very
no
nice
trust
Chevy.
in
I don't
this
need a
right here.
Volkswagen.
Don't argue with me on the air. You just gave yourself up. Maybe you should live with your Aunt Gina. She wouldn't let you hang out with me. So my brother, the Pope, his oldest daughter, got married.
$60,000 Volkswagen.
GCLs. What is GCLs?
No, I said I probably have a $60,000 Volkswagen.
I think that was a shot. We're gonna go back to the finger puppet in a minute. So let's wrap this up because you're actually making me mad again. You make me mad every show.
Well, then don't ask me back. But
I didn't ask you back. Now I'm being told family members are saying,
and now a lot of people are gonna be really
yeah,
upset.
okay, so great. Let's do this. I'm on
text you asking me why I'm not on the show.
on face value. I need to know by next week. So everybody's listening to this. Send me a message. Get in touch with the guys at the Realm Network. Try to contact me through the BillDemottExperience.com. I guess we'll try to set up some kind of page where I can answer questions. But here it is. I'll break it down. There's my Twitter. Twitter for everybody on iTunes and everywhere else. It's at Bill DeMott. Instagram at Bill DeMott. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Demottcracy. I need to know if you guys like Casey on this show. I really don't have to listen to my parents because I can take them both. And everybody else is in New Jersey, and by the time they get here, I can do this show from somewhere else. They never find me. I've hidden from the government for this long. I can hide from my family and do this show. So I want to know by next week. There it is. Hashtag. What is it? What's the things? Equivalent. What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. You said it.
Equivalent.
It's equivalent.
Hashtag equivalent and Billisms. And let me know if you think my moral compass should be back on face value. Because I'll say this.
I vote yes.
You don't have a vote.
Yes, I do. This is America. I have a vote.
Yeah, and you know what happens in America? They make the American flags and the Florida flags in America. Here's what happens in America.
Yeah.
We're going to get to Miss Paula later this week. We got to change the football thing for sure. There's my YouTube channel. Here's what happens in America. A guy from England can come over and win America's Got Talent.
America.
The 2 cats from Atlanta that could sing. They were
amazing.
good.
I think they were like the Craig Lewis band.
Craig Lewis band. And serious now. Because I haven't told too many people call me this week. The Craig Lewis band on America's Got Talent. Call me. I would love to interview you guys. Great story of They were living on the street,
Yeah.
and just two guys who could sing, and they're just blessed,
Amazing.
just blessed, and they can sing, and that was really a good show. That was a good show. The Stuttering Comic Kid.
He was funny. I liked him.
Yeah, but he was funny, but he was long.
Well, they don't give him a lot of time anyway.
I mean, he had 6 weeks. He told one joke in 6 weeks.
Wait,
No? That's funny. He'd probably use that. That's the key. He did the GPS thing. Turn right.
oh, shit.
That's the guy,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So
He's funny.
he actually, if you put it all together, he's told one joke in 6 weeks. That's why he lost.
It was very funny.
Craig Lewis Band, call me from America's Got Talent. We'll do an interview. It's great stuff. So let's wrap it up. The Pope has bobbleheads. I want a bobblehead. Order everything from Amazon on the buildamyexperience.com. Go to the webpage, click on the Amazon banner, get everything you need. Maybe that's where we'll find the BDE merchandise as we go forward. So for my mother, I turned my hat backwards. Shout out to everybody in New Jersey. Golfle Grill, I apologize for that. Did you just wink at me?
No.
What was that, a tick?
No, I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just.
You have a tick when you feel guilty?
No.
Right now you're thinking, when we get off the air, he's going to want to talk to me about a lot of things I said.
I'm going to probably talk to you about a lot of things you said, but I didn't say anything. I haven't said anything.
Okay, so before we wipe this up, because we're gonna wipe this up, which is the same as wrap this up. Except after we go to Taco Bell, we'll need to wipe this up. See how we tie it in? You're learning. This is it. It may take us a while, but you're gonna get there. After Taco Bell, we'll need some wipes.
I'm funny. See,
You are funny. And where do you get those wipes? On Amazon. Go to buildamyexperience.com and order from them. And the Amazon people have a great sense of humor. How do I know? I don't, but we'll find out. Craig Lewis Band, call me. So here's the one thing I'm getting better at. I'm getting better at being politically correct, aren't I?
A little bit. You said fruit booty, though. That's not.
No. I was talking about my nephew.
But he's not a fruit booty.
Okay. Did you see him dance?
No.
You.
I'm Tyler. I'm coming to your defense if you're watching this.
I'm not talking about Tom. I'm talking about Adonis.
Oh, Adonis.
Oh.
I don't know. You're saying nephew. I don't know which one. Every time you said nephew, you were talking about Tyler. I don't know.
Well, because Tyler's a bigger version of my brother.
Yeah. Well, everybody said that.
The guy comes to pick up my parents in the car last night.
Oh.
And he's an Uber driver. So #Uber. So the guy pulls up. He says, we got 4. We need to put my dad in the front and my sister and her son and my mom in the back. Guy goes, I can't fit 4. So my brother goes, and if you know my brother, this is great. Because now outside standing there is my brother, myself, my brother's son, and Pete Donatello, who's just as good as being a DeMott boy. So there's the 4 of us sitting next to this guy. So this guy starts cracking wise to my nephew. So my brother says, Tyler, handle it. So the guy starts cracking wise to my nephew. And my brother instantly gets pissed and goes to go around the corner. And I put my hand on my brother's chest and go, I got this. We're all in suits. My brother's in a tux. My nephew's in a tux. I'm in a suit. Pete's in a suit. So Pete says, you want to move on. Pete's trying to get the guy to go. So Tyler, I don't know where he gets his temper from, goes, you got something you want to say? Get out of the car. You got something you want to say? Get out of the car. Tyler, I got this. I stuck my less bigger head, because my brother has a big head. I stuck my less bigger head in the window and go, you want to go home right now. The guy has a moment of clarity and goes, oh my God, what did I just say? So as he's leaving, he's trying to mumble very manly, I don't have to take this and that, as he was driving off. And I stood there for a minute like a proud papa of the 4 other guys, thinking about 20 years ago when we would have flipped that freaking car over and beat the snot out of that guy and drove ourselves home. So we've come a long way. We're evolving. We're evolving as men. It's one of the few times the DeMott boys did not get in trouble, and my sister-in-law couldn't tell me I couldn't go out with him anymore. I was more proud of my Tyler, because Tyler goes, get in the car, son, bitch. You have something you want to say? Get in the car, bitch.
I missed that.
I was so happy. I was filled. My chest. I was like this. My chest. I was looking at my brother going, he didn't get that from you. So I felt pretty good because my brother was always like that. My brother's always go the one, you got something you want to say? Where's Bill? So my nephew's going, you got something you want to say? No, and I'm right in his peripheral, and I'm going, yes, we're back. So I went to Jersey, got my blood pumping a little bit. I'm going to be 50, so anytime you feel like you're going to go, you take advantage of it. Because I'm a harmless soul.
Yeah.
But it was funny to see. Great to see Pete does, huh? So let's wrap this up. I'm getting better at being socially?
Politically correct.
I'm not socially correct yet. I'm getting better at being politically correct.
You're better at being a cool event.
Hashtag?
Hashtag. Cool event.
In the movie, what is it, Kicking and Screaming, Will Ferrell? Half calf, deep calf. And he kept running in and out of the thing, and they locked him out of the coffee house. That has nothing to do with it. What is it? Hashtag equivalent. Equivalent.
And now hashtag.
Hashtag. And we want to know, I will not have Casey on this show anymore. She should have been taken out for the Ed Sheeran thing in the Pope, but now he's got bobbleheads. And so if I don't hear that Casey should be on Face Value anymore, she won't be on it. And then hopefully the ratings don't go down. Are there ratings on this? No.
I bring you ratings. That's what it is.
You bring me Aja. You see what I just did? I just threw up in my mouth and tried to swallow it.
That's because you burp up ice cream, and that's a medical condition.
And I didn't even have any ice cream. I could burp up ice cream and never even have it.
That's gross.
I'm like the regurgitator.
You're not like the
who lost. So we talked about America's Got Talent. Craig Lewis Band is going to call me. We love the fact that we're doing business with Amazon. We know that American flags have to be made in America, and the Florida ones do too. Sorry, people in Florida. I just read what's put in front of me. Ridiculous. I got nowhere to go for that. VW, 500 recalls. My daughter wants 6,000 cars. She's not going to get it.
I have a very nice car.
Good. Taco Bell is now serving the wine, the sangria.
Don't drive drunk.
Don't drive drunk, says my daughter, in the Windy City. And don't buy lottery tickets in Illinois. You just, now anywhere don't drive. Now all of a sudden you're a people person. So everybody on iTunes, I love the fact that you're listening. I keep up on the downloads. Keep it up. I appreciate it. This is a lot of fun. This was a family weekend, so that was more than the normal news, and I love putting my spin on things. And again, take it at face value. No one should be offended this weekend except my sister-in-law for this show, and she'll get over it because she'll take it out on my brother. Get arrested one time, you never hear the end of it. No, too much?
Yes.
We had a great time. I loved being back home, and I love being back home here even more. Family time is everything. I got a chance to sit down with those kids and people I need to sit down with and just have some good FaceTime. But I'm real happy that everybody back home is listening to these shows and catching up to YouTube and everything we're doing. So everybody on iTunes, thank you. Keep it up. Spread the word. I'm going to catch up. Hopefully I'm going to catch up with my man Vince Russo this week. And either I'll get on his show or he'll get on mine. It's always great conversation. Next week, I got a great guest. I believe Richard Estep will be with me, the ghost hunter. Get on the Bill DeMott, the YouTube channel, the Bill DeMott Experience. In 2 weeks, we have another episode coming out, and we're shooting. We're going out on location this week to do another one. So we're going there. We're just waiting for good things to happen. I love this segment. I love this podcast. Face value, take it at that. Hopefully we'll get back on track and be a little more serious, but we just wanted to share some of our escapades with you this week. So do what you say what you mean what you do. This is Bill DeMott, the Bill DeMott Experience. I'm out.
Visit VinceRussoBrand.com to sign up for exclusive VIP content. You get over 20 new video shows monthly, including Vixens Who Rule and The Swerve, where Vince Russo interviews stars in wrestling and beyond. Listen to Vince and Jeff Lane discuss weekly news and rumor and review Attitude Era Raws. Also, watch the cult hit Bucket Full of Chicken next. Go to VinceRussoBrand.com and click the red subscribe button to join now.